Warning: the following video contains explicit language which may be offensive to some viewers or inappropriate for children. The content within this video is intended for mature audiences only.
Warning: this video will contain spoilers for the 2012 DC comic Batman Earth 1 Volume 1. It should be noted that the video ran longer than expected and had to be converted into 3 videos, so the graphics used in the video are from books that are not talked about in this video. Sorry for the inconvenience. This video may also contain discussions and/or images of violence, sexual situations, and drug use. Viewing beyond this point is a choice you have made, and you take responsibility for that choice. Thank you, and please have a nice day.
Hello and welcome to this video. I hope everyone's doing well. I hope everyone's having fun. And I hope the universe is treating you well. Today's topic, or today's video, is going to be on Batman Earth 1. It's a 3-volume series with written by Geoff Johns. The art, let me grab my notes real quick. Art by Gary Frank and colors by Brad Anderson. There are some things we need to go into before we actually get into the meat of the story. One is Marvel versus DC. That is, to me, that is a idiotic argument because they're yes, they're both comic books, but Marvel is grounded more in the real world, where DC is more fantasy. I have a handful of titles in both Marvel and DC that I like. It's just a lot of the titles that I like in the Marvel universe, they don't do a whole lot with anymore. And what they do, it's they kind of retreading, in my opinion, this is my opinion, they're retreading a bunch of stuff over and over again. That's my opinion. You are free to disagree with it. You are free to have a different opinion, and it is just as valid. The Marvel titles that I really enjoy are She-Hulk, Daredevil, Elektra Assassin. It's some X-Men stuff. They don't do a whole lot with Elektra Assassin. They don't do a whole lot with She-Hulk. So yeah, and those are probably my favorite too. In all fairness to Marvel, they are better suited with dealing with real world issues. They are better suited to deal with things like human trafficking, drug trafficking, cartels, stuff like that, because of the storytelling type. DC does a decent job, but when it comes to stuff like that, I think Marvel does a better job. And if you go through these videos, go through this particular playlist, you'll find that most of the comics I do are DC, because I like the contemporary fantasy feel of it. And that's just me. Do I dislike anything of the Marvel Universe? No. Do I think it sucks? No. It's just simply not my cup of tea. And for the people that enjoy that storytelling, that type of storytelling, the people that want to embrace that storytelling, I would support you. If that's what you like, that's what you like. Go for it. Read the shit out of them comics. Just, just understand that not everybody has the same taste. And there are those of us who are mature enough to understand that because I don't have a particular taste for something doesn't mean it's sex. It's just I don't have a taste for it. Another thing we need to get into. All comic books, all comic book characters, they have to reset them every once in a while, about every 15 to 20 years. They have to reset the universe. Because people change, their target demographic changes, technology changes, writers retire, new writers come in, different writers have different takes. Henceforth, you have DC and Marvel basically being multiverses because different authors have different story ideas. The Batman Earth 1, I believe, is in the New 52 continuity. I could be wrong on that. I didn't double check it. Which means in that continuity, that particular time frame of the DC universe, you had the Prime Earth, which was the main continuity. Then you had 51 alternate Earths. For doing like Elseworld titles, Black Label titles, and stuff like that. And this is when the Earth 1 Batman stories came out. They did Batman, Wonder Woman, Superman, Green Lantern, and Teen Titans. To the best of my knowledge, as of right now, there are only 3 Batman volumes. The first one came out in July 4th, 2012. The second volume came out on May 6th, 2015. The third volume came out on June 8th, 2021. So that there tells you they take their time with these stories. The main characters that are highlighted in these in the Batman stories are, of course, Batman, Bruce Wayne, Harvey Bullock, Selena Kyle / Catwoman, Jessica Dent, who is Harvey Dent's twin sister, Harvey Dent, of course, Jim Gordon, Killer Croc, and Alfred Pennyworth. That is your main cast. You have other supporting characters that come in and out, but that's your main cast of characters right there. Where Earth 1 departs from the main continuity, the main Batman colony, the Earth Prime Batman, is we get a young Bruce Wayne before his parents get killed. We get a young Bruce Wayne who is your stereotypical only child, spoiled, rich, brat, turd of a child. And it takes the killing of his parents to sober him up. Alfred is not the butler. He's not the family butler. In fact, Thomas Wayne, in the beginning of the first book, is running to become mayor of the city of Gotham. And Alfred Pennyworth is an old military acquaintance of Thomas's. It says they fought in the desert together, so pick any early 21st century American English joint adventure in the Middle East. It is unspecified. The only thing that is specified is that this takes place in 2012. The flashback is probably late 90s, early 2000s. Bruce is 12, 13 years old. So yeah, probably maybe 2006, 2007, somewhere in there. But the actual story where we pick up with Batman is in 2012. And through the flashback we learn that Alfred Pennyworth was like English Special Forces badass. Okay? He retired from the military, started his own security outfit, business, what have you. He gets hired by Thomas Wayne because of death threats and all that. Thomas Wayne, against the advice of Alfred, takes his spoiled little turd of a child to the movies. And when they're leaving the movie theater, that's when Thomas Wayne and Martha Wayne get killed. Then we have a little bit of Alfred adjusting. Basically, Thomas Wayne, in his will, made Alfred the caretaker of Bruce. And he deals with that. We get some really good adjustment of going from security badass, Alfred, to basically butler, mentor, father figure for Bruce. And like I said, the murder of his parents sober Bruce up a bit. In the first book, he's trying to figure out who killed his dad. There are things that are kind of a stretch in it. He's tracking a corrupt cop who has a lighter that Bruce gave to his father that one Christmas, and the lighter is an engraved lighter that says, world's greatest dad. Not that anybody else in the world could have got a lighter and had it engraved like that, but it is what it is. It's kind of a stretch. Not one of the better plot points. We go through and we find out that the current mayor, or the mayor that wound up taking over when Thomas Wayne was killed, was one Oswald Cobblepot, aka the Penguin. And Bruce is convinced that Cobblepot had his father killed. We get introduced to Harvey Bullock and Lieutenant Detective James Gordon. Gordon is paired with Bullock. Bullock has transferred in from LA. He was a television cop. He was a cop that had a show that went for 5 seasons. He's a dandy playboy, has never really seen any, hasn't seen any dirty, messed up shit in his police career. And he wants to make a name for himself by coming to Gotham and solving the Wayne murders. We kind of get the idea from the first interactions with him and Jim Gordon that Jim Gordon may not be on the up and up. Jim Gordon is initially portrayed as maybe a dirty cop. But we find out as we go through here that it's because of his investigation into the death of Martha and Thomas Wayne that his wife was killed. The mob or whoever, some force killed his wife and let him know that's why they killed his wife, and that his daughter would be next if he continued it. Then we introduce Harvey Bullock. Bullock wants to make a name for himself by, solving this case, and winds up getting Gordon into some shit because of his pursuit of this case. In fact, his daughter Barbara gets kidnapped. Then we flip back over to Batman. Batman, like I said, he's trying to find out who killed his dad. He's got a bunch of crap that he thinks will help him. In fact, in the very, very beginning of the story, he has his grappling gun and he goes to shoot it, and it does everything that it's not supposed to do. And he finds in Wayne Medical Tech a young entrepreneur, genius by the name of Lucius Fox. And he's like, I'm Bruce Wayne. I have all kinds of crazy things that I want built for doing crazy rich guy stuff. And he's like, I need you to build me a grappling gun for me to go mountain climbing. And Lucius is like, we're a medical company. He's like, I know, but I'm the owner. I will give you tons of money. I need you to do this for me. So Lucius starts building things that work for Batman gadgets. Eventually, Lucius is let in on the secret. So Batman, through his smashing in faces, gets led to the same place that Harvey Bullock and Jim Gordon are going to. And along the way, we find out that Harvey Dent, who in the main continuity becomes Two-Face, has a twin sister, Jessica. We also find out that Martha Wayne's maiden name was Arkham, Martha Arkham. And Harvey Dent resents Bruce Wayne because of his mom. I mean, they're all phenomenally rich kids. While Bruce is steadily trying to get between Jessica's legs. So we established that dynamic. We establish that Jessica is basically the number 2 person in line if something happens to the mayor. Foreshadowing. Yeah, Harvey Dent has a strong distaste for Wayne. It's kind of gruesome. The lengths he goes through. Then we also get let in on the fact that Harvey Dent, through his phenomenal fucking up, kind of reinvigorates Jim Gordon. They go out and they hammer on some thugs, baseball bats and crowbar style. In fact, there's a great panel where they're beating up a thug, and the thug's like, "Oh, what is this? Good cop, bad cop?" And Harvey Bullock is like, "No, this is bad cop, bad cop." And it eventually leads them to the old Arkham estate. It's a dilapidated building. It's falling apart. It's the house that Bruce's mom grew up in. At some point, Thomas Wayne had bought it and bought the property. Martha and Thomas Wayne were the last of the Waynes and the last of the Arkhams. She was the last of the Arkhams. Bruce is potentially the last of the Waynes. Her mother one day just kind of lost her mind and smashed her father's head with a sledgehammer and set the house on fire and jumped out the window. The fire was put out. You know, that's one of the reasons why this mansion is dilapidated. The reason why I mention all that is because this is where the third act of the story takes place. We have Batman rolling up because he has found out that the Mayor Cobblepot has a psychotic mass murderer in his employ, and Batman is going to have a discussion with him. And discussion, I mean beat his ass. Gordon Bullock have found that this is where they're keeping Barbara. The psycho killer is known as the Birthday Boy. And his last name is Salinger, as in Catcher in the Rye Salinger. That just kind of lets you know what we're dealing with. He equates all women and girls of a certain body type, hair coloring and stuff to his first victim, which he killed on her birthday. Henceforth, he has earned the moniker of the Birthday Boy. And Cobblepot uses him to convince people that they should support Cobblepot. And as payment, they kidnap and give to Birthday Boy young women and young girls. This is a dark comic, by the way. It gets dark. It's one of those ones where you're reading it and you're going, damn, they went there. Harvey Bullock, Gordon get there about the same time Batman gets there. Gordon runs up on Batman. At this time, they're not friends. And Gordon draws his pistol. He's like, "You got my daughter. Where's my daughter?" And Batman's like, "Hey, look, I'm here to just I'm here to whoop some ass of a serial killer. I don't know anything about your daughter." Eventually, they find Barbara. They save Barbara. It's Batman comic. That's what they do. Barbara and Gordon get saved. However, during the skirmish with the birthday boy, Harvey Bullock gets smashed through a floor into a basement. In the basement is all the bodies of all the little girls and young women that the birthday boy has killed over years, like 10 or 15. It doesn't show you anything gory or bloody. It shows you like shoes or a dress or, you know, some tattered this or that. And it's dark. Bullock loses it. It scrambles his eggs. The silly putty between his ears becomes even sillier. Bullock is not the same after this. Then they apprehend birthday boy. They get enough evidence to start putting people in, taking them to trial and putting them in prison. And Batman decides to confront Cobblepot. And Cobblepot, they banter, they fight. Cobblepot finds out that it's Bruce Wayne and gets the upper hand, and he's getting ready to kill Bruce Wayne when Alfred shows up and unloads a 12 gauge into Cobblepot, blowing him out the window. And basically, it's just perfect because of the way Alfred is portrayed through the comic. He's not portrayed as the Alfred that we know from the Earth Prime main continuity. He's a warrior. He's a fighter. In fact, he looks a lot like Sam Elliott the way they have him drawn in this comic. I just noticed we're almost 30 minutes into this video, so I will be doing a separate video for Volume 2 and Volume 3. Each one of those will probably get their own video because they are very dense stories. They are very dark. Very good stories, though. I would have to say, very good stories. So, with all that being said, I would highly recommend it. If you're a Batman fan, a comic book fan, you'd probably enjoy this. Like I said, it's deep. I wouldn't say deep. It's dark, and it portrays Batman starting out as an idiot. It kind of goes hand in hand with Frank Miller's Year One Batman, except Bruce Wayne in Earth One does not possess the mental facilities that the Prime Earth Batman does. So it's enjoyable. It's an enjoyable series. So until next time, everyone, be a good human Be good to other humans. Peace.
Hey, it's 10 p.m. Do you know where your children are?